Hi, this is Rob Perrell, and what I'm presenting are some new data that came out a week ago, and today is December 20th. And what it consists of are new estimates of population in Chicago from the American Community Survey. And the American Community Survey is being done for neighborhood level information on a 5-year basis. So the end point really consists of an average of the years 2005 through 2009. So let's walk through it. The slide you're looking at shows the city of Chicago with its 77 community areas. Now, since the year 2000, these estimates we're working with show the city losing about 72,000 people. So on average, community areas have been declining in population. But this map shows some of the areas that have increased in population. And you can see that they include the lakefront areas, starting from the South Loop on northward. And they also include the area out getting towards O'Hare, which is including Norwood Park, Jefferson Park, Portage Park, Dunning. And then finally, some of the growth areas are on the southwest. This map shows the projected change in black population in Chicago since year 2000. And there are just a slew of community areas in Chicago that have lost well over 1,000 African Americans just in the last few years, according to these estimates. Citywide, the picture is that the black population since the year 2000 is down by almost 100,000 persons. It's approaching something like a 10% decline in the African American population, according to the American Community Survey. The only area of growth really is a few community areas that grew by about 1,000 persons in terms of blacks. The biggest growth being Ashburn on the far southwest side that had an increase of about 5,000 persons. Let's talk about change in the white population. Here's a map of the community areas showing a white change. Overall, the white population appears to have grown by about 10,000 people since the year 2000. About half of the community areas in Chicago, though, had a decline in white population, and about a quarter of the community areas declined by at least 1,000 persons. The greatest decline in white population was in Portage Park, which fell by almost 8,000 people. The big growth areas are near to downtown, near to the lake. In other words, the near west side, just west of the loop actually, grew by about 10,000 whites. And similarly, Westtown grew by almost 14,000 people since 2000 in terms of white population. Latino population in Chicago has grown in some interesting ways. More than any other group, the Latino population grew in number, increasing by about 21,000 people since year 2000. But let me read the list of community areas that had a decline in Latino population. South Lawndale, Logan Square, Lower West Side. Now when I read those areas, those are the traditional settlement areas of the Latino community for decades now. And yet the decline in population is pretty stunning to me. Now we're looking at 15,000 fewer Latinos counted in Westtown. Now you remember a moment ago, Westtown's home to a lot of new white population. South Lawndale is more of a mystery to me, falling by 12,000 persons. I don't know of large-scale in-migration of any other group coming into South Lawndale, so possibly there's an aging process going on with fewer people per household. That needs to be looked into. And then in terms of areas that grew the most in terms of Latino population, first of all, you got to look at the southwest side, West Elsdon, Garfield Ridge, West Lawn. Those are major areas of Latino population increase. This is south of the Stevenson Expressway, kind of in the Midway Airport area. And then also Belmont Cragen, which has been on the list of growing Latino community areas for a couple decades now, and it picked up 8,000 Latinos in the last few years. Here's the Asian population since the year 2000. Asians grow by about 13,000 people, second only to Latinos in terms of raw growth. But let's look at some of the population losers in order of the greatest loss: Albany Park, Uptown, West Ridge, Edgewater, Lincoln Square. Now, especially when I read off Albany Park and Uptown and Edgewater, I'm thinking of areas that have had Asian populations for a long time, and that's precisely where there's a lot of population decline right now, by at least 1,000 persons since year 2000. At the other end of the scale, what I think is interesting is the growth in a set of contiguous areas south of the loop, in other words, the near south side. and then Bridgeport and Armour Square. Armour Square, of course, home to Chinatown. They're all growing by at least 1,500 Asian persons since the year 2000. This last slide merely shows you the numbers that I've been basing all my observations on, and here they are for your enjoyment.